Hi, this video is about the new batch of ChatGPT plugins. I'm going to do a demo of as many of them as makes sense, and I'm just going to try to jump in and see what they can do, and then and document that for your curiosity's sake. So let's just jump into it. Let's just install all of these. Which one? I don't know which one they were. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I don't like I don't like two-factor authentication, except if you're a bank. Let's just install all of these. All right. So I don't know why Lowe's would want two-factor authentication. I'm not going to set that up here, at least not right now. Maybe we'll circle back around to these. So let's do these portfolio pilot. So we'll just start by asking what they can do. We'll leave Wolfram on. What can the portfolio pilot ChatGPT plugin do? I'll pause while it does this. Okay, here's what I learned. I've read all this. I'm not going to read it all to you, but I've scanned through this. Basically, there's something important, an AI-driven coach that uses hedge fund quality models. So I'm not a big fan. I've studied investing heavily. I'm not a big fan of hedge funds. I know that you can make a lot of money with them, but they're extremely risky, and I think for most people, not very practical. That's beside the point. But this is a critical feature of this. If you're interested in hedge funds and a little bit more risky, but potentially higher reward type things, then that's kind of the angle that they're approaching here. It does say it can do, a lot of portfolio analysis type stuff. And I was like, well, how do I share it with you? And you do kind of have to put it here in a structured format, and then have it analyze this. We could actually do this. Let me pick a few things. Actually, here's what we can do. We can pick the spreadsheet from the last video on investing and put it in and see what happens. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick at random. I did a random. It's supposed to be sorted by Z to A on that. There we go. I don't know why it's doing Adobe at the top. That's kind of weird. It does look like it is still sorting by alphabetical. So we'll just kind of pick several at random. I'm just going to click here. That's 5. Okay, so this is on its suggested list. Let's do this. And then what we'll do is let's check out their format. All right, here we go. Analyze this portfolio, please. Let's see what it does here. Okay. Parsed it correctly. Kind of curious how useful this is. Expected performance. So it's analyzing the total return, excess return volatility. I don't remember what the Sharpe ratio is. Downside projection, is it protection? Invest next $1,000 summary. Okay. Very aggressive. Yeah, we don't have any bonds or anything like that. There's actually a good suggestion here. This is interesting. I'm not sure why. Downside surprise and economic growth. I feel like J&J is not going to go up a lot, but it's also not going to go down a lot, so it's a little bit strange to me. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe this is useful to you. Let's move on to the next one. We'll try Zillow. What can Zillow... Here, I'll just pause. Okay, this is interesting. I think if you're looking for houses, this might actually be pretty useful. It depends. Partially because ChatGPT is good at data analysis. So basically there's two main things. Property search, which is kind of like tell us what kind of property you want, and we'll find some properties for you, and then dive into specific properties. So let me come up with a property search example, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm looking to buy a new home in Plano, Texas. It's not actually true, but I'm just showing it to you. It needs to be it should be at least 3 bedrooms and at least 2,500 square feet. Ideally, it would be in the western half of Plano. West Plano is nicer than East Plano in general. Not the end of the world. Plano is actually really, really huge, and so there's a lot of variety there. I would like it to have a pool, and my budget range is $400,000 to $600,000. Listing type sale, min bathrooms. I guess I didn't do that. Home type all. User question. Whoa! It just did a bunch of stuff. Okay, hold on. Let's scroll back up. Expected min bathrooms to be a number. Okay, yeah, it fixed its own error. That's really good. Okay, I'm gonna skip past all of this stuff because I think it's putting it down here in a better format. Let's see. So far, it is keeping it between 400 and 600. It did not get the 2,500 square feet. Let's see. I think on its second pass when it fixed it, I wonder if it removed. Yeah, so it removed. Oh wait, there's no square footage here. So it didn't capture the square footage, which is interesting in its thing. So it's not perfect. You'd think that would be a pretty significant because a 1,600 square feet, for my assuming that I was actually looking to do this, would be way too small. I have kids, so it's not a lot. I like this as well. Seeing some pictures. And if I click, it's not the end of the world that they didn't get it right exactly, because I can just go through here and it got the other things right. I can click on this one. Well, let's go. I guess that's the only one that is actually over 2,500 square feet. Okay, let's try this. Rerun the above Zillow search, but with minimum square feet of 2,500. Minimum, we'll word it awkwardly. Let's see how that worked. So I'm actually kind of curious if this is actually in West Plano, but we can check several of them. Let's go back up here and let's just click through. Maybe also the part of the problem here is the range that I'm in is potentially not that good. Like there might not be that many big homes in this price range. Well, I can't see where that's actually at. Let's refresh. Here's what we can do. We can copy. Actually, I know what we do. So this is like far East Plano, so it didn't get that right. We can let's try this one, the one that I zeroed in on. Actually, I recognize the zip code. Zip codes are weird, so we'll just go to here. Also not West Plano. So it didn't do the location right. Like Plano, if we look at Texas. This is a very huge area. Driving from like this side to this side takes like 20 minutes. And Plano is a pretty big suburb. So it didn't get that right, but that's maybe a little bit too much to ask of it. So it still isn't doing the minimums. Oh, minimum living area. There we go. Maybe I have to phrase it differently. Support specifying a minimum. That seems like an oversight. That it doesn't allow us to do that via the app. But let's see, it didn't allow. So I have to go in here and actually, but it did do partially the search for me, so it saved me a little bit of time. I think this is potentially a useful plugin to have a conversation because ChatGPT is good at data analysis, but it does look like they have a few things to fix. All right, let's move on. All right, we're gonna do create a code Scratch. All right, my kids use Scratch, so Okay, this is interesting. My kids use Scratch, and so maybe I need to run this by them. I'm not really sure. So it looks like it can display Scratch programs as images. I'm not sure what that means. So please give me a let's see. Here's a thought. Please give me an image of the Scratch Yahtzee program. I'm not sure, like, is it going to give me sample code, or I'm kind of curious. Like, maybe, does it actually go find it looks like it's doing a lot to the right here. Does it actually go find a Yahtzee Scratch program that somebody created, or does it create something from scratch? I'm not really sure what this does. I wonder also if, so we can't put images into this. I guess if I gave it a link to an image or a link to a specific Scratch program, it could do something. Let's check that out. Hold on. All right, so I just found this random Scratch project, and what we're going to do is, once this is done, we will we'll put it in here and see what it does. Undetermined screen. I'm not sure it's going to get this, but let's give it a chance. Because sometimes, what's interesting about these plugins so far that I've seen a lot of them do is they error and then they work to fix that error, which is pretty cool, and try again. The Zillow plugin, while it was missing the square footage, did a pretty good job of that. Okay, it's continuing to loop. I guess it keeps trying to parse something too big, so we're gonna stop it because it's been going for quite a while. I had to pause and was doing a bunch of other stuff. Let's try a different approach here. I wonder if tell me about this Scratch. Software. Oops. See if it can do that. Because I don't know another way. I don't know how to use this. I don't understand, because I can't upload images. This is GPT 3.5, and the GPT 4 isn't even ready for that. I can't give it a link. It was unable to create a Scratch program that, obviously this is not a simple, well, I guess it is kind of simple, but it wasn't even able to, so maybe this is just not complete yet. So let's go ahead and move on. Lots of promise though. I think any coding is great to interact with this, to interact with ChatGPT. So happy to see people going for that, but not really what I'd be looking for. Okay, I'm running out of time here. Let's pick Yabble, create survey specific audience collected. That's interesting. Let's try this. Okay, Yabble, ChatGPT allows users to generate and run a marketing survey and obtain insights. I've never used Yabble, so I'm not familiar with it. I wonder if I have to have a Yabble account to visit. Okay. I would like to create a Yabble. All right, we're just gonna try this. I'm not sure, probably a more specific, like, okay, let's do the questions. How do I do the survey? But I thought I'd start kind of broad and see kind of where it goes. ChatGPT, not exactly. I'll pause while it's generating. Okay. I think these questions look pretty good, actually. Survey code. Oh, what is this? Please save the code, as you can use it to access. How do I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with this code. That's not bad, but I also wonder, it's like, wouldn't GPT-4 just do a good job of this? Of you giving it a topic and asking for questions? I'm not sure how helpful this is. Although the Yabble website is pretty interesting, to be able to crunch unstructured data using AI. That seems like a really good idea. That seems kind of separate from doing survey and market research. So interesting. I'm not sure exactly where to go with this other than just to, I think it'd be helpful to create a survey with this. But again, I think that GPT-4 might do it just as good, if not a better job of this right now, because this is using actually GPT 3.5. Unless I guess maybe their plugin circles back around and calls GPT-4, which is possible. This video is already pretty long. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do any of these other ones, because I don't find them to be that interesting. Get current factual data on companies. I think Google does probably a better job of this, although maybe with some, again, pulling it in and doing data analysis. Recipes, again, GPT-4 does a really good job of this, so I'm not sure how helpful this is. Maybe it's structured better. Maybe that is interesting. Maybe I'll do that one real quick. Definitely not interested in this. Again, I don't think this is very helpful because I think you just go to your registrar and do the same thing. Again, I don't really see a whole, and I do a lot of SEO, so this is relevant, and I just don't find that to be very useful. Again, GPT-4 I think does a good job of this. Let's try tasty recipes. I'm just kind of curious. Let's undo Yabble. All right, please give me 5 tasty recipes for a healthy and easy chicken dinner to cook for a family of 4. Did it get 5? It looks like it does only, I only see 3 in here. So it does list 5, but 2 of them 404 when I click the links. So I wonder what's going on there. Still maybe an issue that they're working on, but this isn't bad. I think pulling this information into ChatGPT is pretty useful. For now, what we could do is we could actually, well, I could enable the Instacart and have it add ingredients. Let's just see. Please create a shopping list for these 5 recipes. It's really what we're looking for to see if it does a good job of that. So it's querying the 5 different recipes. I guess it's kind of is it trying to extract the ingredients? So this is not a shopping list. It's kind of partially a shopping list, but I think what we might be able to do, because it's, you know, it's doing half a cup of sugar, you know, it should, and then I'm sure there's probably sugar somewhere else, or onion or olive oil. It needs to put it all into one list. I wonder if it'll do that. I'm gonna pause, and if it doesn't though, we could probably copy and paste. Okay, so let's copy and paste this. This should work. Please, hold on, let me word this. Okay, so maybe this is something where I should switch over to GPT-4, but I copied it and then I did, below is a list of recipes and their ingredients. Please consolidate duplicate items into one shopping list. So that's not bad. But again, this is something that I think you could probably just do with GPT-4. That's all I'm going to show in this video. If you have specific things, I'll probably come back and shoot a separate video for some of the other ones, especially if somebody says, hey, I really want to see this plugin that you did to show. Happy to add that to the queue. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.